Right, so what I've done with this post, and this is only temporary, this is while I just put everything together. So that's where I cut it, because I want this bottom piece to come out. So I've strapped it, not strapped it, I've put a clamp on there and there with a spirit level on, because I'm wanting to make sure that this post stays straight. I don't want it breaking its back and going like a 50p piece. So I did that. And then I've screwed this on, this strap. And what I hope is that this is going to stop it going that way and also this way. So when I take these clamps off and I take that off and that off, I'm hoping that the post will stay straight. And I just need to screw these clamps up properly, which I've put at the top, but to try and hold the top. But we'll see what happens when I undo those in a second, when I screw them up. So I'm pleased with this. So I need to start getting the habit, I think, of me videoing me doing stuff, because they just ended up with me talking. So I've put a bracket up there, and I've put a bracket up there, and this strap on there, and one on there, but that's not the right height, and I may be cutting this post off. And that is solid. I'm pleased with that. Checking that, I'm pleased with that. So what my plan is, this will be the opening. I can reach in and unscrew this, unscrew that at the bottom, and then this will come out. This and a frame across there will hang and stay there, and then all this front here will come off and be open like how it is there, and then all this side from worktop height up to that cut will be open, and you'll be able to service everything and take this cylinder out. Now that's solid, I can see it's going to work. Oh, and these straps, what my plan is in the scheme of things is to cut MDF to cover this and route out a slot in the MDF so this is covered, you don't see it. I'll put the MDF on cups and screws so that it will just come off. I'll be able to get to this to take the post out. All this is going to be lined with MDF so it looks tidy. Why I'm not plastering it and I'm using MDF is that I'll be able to fasten any pipe clips straight to the MDF. So I've got my MDF there. So before we do any first fixing, that'll all be lined out and painted so that I've got colour on. Then we'll put everything in, and then if I've any just touching up a bits of paint or anything, it'll all look clean and tidy then and properly painted, because you can't, once you put stuff in, you can't paint properly. It wants sort of finishing and then just touching up. God, I wish I could be touched up. Right, so I'm just putting in a double row of noggins in one of the walls. So I've got another one to go in there, and then I want another row underneath, because what I want to put on is going to go somewhere up there. I do have a height for it, but I think it's a bit too low. So if I put plenty of timber in, at least I know I'm covered. So this side, when I put it in, I'm able to fire in through this side of the timber, and to be solid on the other side, I'm firing in some 2x2 at the back into that, and then I can fire through this into there. Like that, do you see? So then I know it's all in good and solid. My little distort is fantastic. 305. Right, let's go get one done. Another thing what you need is a pencil with a bloody good point on it, because if your pencil's like 2 or 3 millimeters wide, you could be cutting 302 mil, 303, 304, really sharp pencil. Put my little piece of 2x2 on at the back, but you want to make sure that the timber at the other side isn't sticking out too far forward. To make sure it's right. Right, so that's my first row complete. Just excuse me while I get a swigger. Bloody chilly morning this morning. So that's my first row complete. I'm just going to now run another one underneath, just to ensure that I've got plenty of manoeuvrability. Not any worse than trying to fasten something to a wall and you ain't got a fix in place. I had some people walking past and they said they've been watching me. They can't believe that I built it on my own. And I was telling them, and they were asking me about it. And I'm just going to show you which is the hardest thing I've had to do here on me, the thing which has caused me the most issue. And it was nailing them 2x2s under there, because what I had to do, I turned my chalk line on, so I had my scaffolding up, so I'm on my scaffolding at A height, and I've got to hold the 2x2 up to the line, and then where I nailed it, I had a 6mm packer to hold in place, because the 2x2 is a few mil thinner than the insulation which goes between it. So I held the 2x2 up, the packer, hold it to a line, and all it was wanting to do was either spin or drop. Then on my bloody nail gun, just getting that first nail in was the hardest thing I've had to do by far on here. I need to get some 2x2 up there now against the wall, because the 2x2 which is up there, it's too far of a span for the plaster boards. You know, you want something on the edge of the board to stop it going up. So I put my timber in up there, it's a ceiling, put some noggins in here, noggins in there, another timber down that wall for the ceiling there. I've got my noggins in there, I've got a wall to build to sit that in. That's a frame for a wall mounted toilet. So this frame is going to mount there, so it wants a frame around it. But at the moment I'm not sure if I'm going to build a shelf over the top and have it as a shelf and put a nice cabinet on up there, or if I'm going to take the frame right up and make like some shelving out of glass shelves in a recess. Don't know about that yet. Got my noggins in there, what I need. My noggins in there. There's a shower tray going here. So, I've got noggins to go in for all the shower bits, but I'll put them in when we're doing that. Might as well tell you what they're all for. That's for a wall mounted an illuminated mirror, but what there's 4 fixings on the illuminated mirror. It's not like one at the top. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. They're for a wall mounted basin. These are for disabled handrails. That's for a disabled handrail. You never know what the future brings, do you? So you might as well be prepared. What else I've got to do? So I thought I had all my noggins in, and then I thought, oh, bloody units. So I've got some tall units go down here. I need to secure the top. So I'm just going to put a line of noggins in. Oh, down there where the green line is. Set my laser up. Oh. Bloody handy is that. So I'm gonna cut these in, and then I need to still work on this cupboard thing. So I got my noggins in at this side now for the units, so that the tops of the units will have somewhere to fasten back to. I'm just carrying on with this cupboard. So I need to get some timbers on across, like I've built that front up there. I'm going to do that side now because I need something for the skirtings to fasten to, and then I'm going to recut the post so that it sits on the top of them timbers, so it's above the skirtings, so that it'll just slide straight out. You'll see. And the top's working, it's hanging. Some of these brackets, some are upside down and some are on the top. So that one's underneath and that one's on the top. And why that is, it's the best places for me to reach for when I need to take the cupboard to bits. I can just reach in. I can reach in underneath to get that screw from underneath, and then when I take this panel off at the top there, I can just reach in and get them 2 screws from the top, take that side panel off and that piece of timber, so then all the side is open. So I'm trying to do it so I can take it all to bits again, and it seems to be working so far. Just a bit of fine tuning, which I'm on with at the moment. Put in there, lovely. Then if I screw that strap back through into the same holes, should be alright. So, yesterday I painted these timbers, I gave them a coat of black. I'm just going to knock up this shed base. I don't know what I've done. I've got one 10mm higher than that one 10mm higher than the rest. I fucked up there. I did it with a laser. So one thing which is awkward on your own, I want to hold a timber in there, hold it flush with the top and nail it. It's not easy on your own. So I'll show you something you can do on your own to make it a bit easier. So if you get a bit of timber, can be anything, and just screw it to the top like that. I'll do the same at the other end. see like that? That's just got it held. That's just got it held, and I can position it and nail away. And just put my mark on so I can nail on my nails nice and straight. If you hit the head of your nail, just knock the point off, it stops your wood splitting as well. Now I can undo them. There you see. I'll go do the same on the other one now. So I'll start to square it up now before I nail it all together. I would say that's pretty good. There. There. Look, and down there. So I'll stick a brace on this corner now just to hold it. It's so easy with these bits of wood on. You can just put it wherever you want it. Oh. Let's get that sorted. Don't forget about taking the point off your nails. Just hold them over a brick and at the end. Oh shit. What we're doing there. That didn't shape up very well there at all. Yeah, so that's not bad at all down there, look. Down there. Down there. So I'll get a brace on that corner too. Just cutting me wood and I heard Jeffrey! Anyway, lady in the car. It's... oh, I forget her name. James knows. The lady. Oh, I thought we were your teacher. Brought me some sausage rolls. Look at that. Oh, forgot her name. Sandra. James. Put it in the comments. What do they call her? The really nice lady. I nailed this one in. You know, using my little timbers. And what I didn't realise, this side had lifted up and I can't knock it down, so I'm just going to take it out. So what you want to do to take any timber out, well, I'm not telling you what to do, but this is my way. You don't saw straight across, you saw at an angle. Because I've got that post there, I'll saw across at an angle that way, and then that side will just lever out. If you cut square, everything just traps against each other. So let's get it done. I'll saw close to the end, and then I still keep a long length of timber. You see what I mean? Sort an angle, then that side I'll just free away. There's this piece from my noggins. That bottom now is quite bent, so if I put my hammer against a piece of wood it won't damage this. You know, if I just put my hammer against that, it'd have bruised all the wood. Let's try again. I just want to shove the middle of that one a couple of mil out this way, so I'll cut a row of noggins now for down the middle. So that's my centre line. So what I do, I alternate them. Between the, so there'll be one at this side of the line, so I can nail through there, and then the next one which goes there I can nail through there. If you go like that, when you put that one on, you've got to be nailing on the piss. You know, you're nailing through the corners, you're going through there, and it's just awkward. Unless you're catching the end of the board, you're just easier to stagger the joints, like I've just shown you. I like to hold my long level down the edge, and then if I need to push it out a couple of mil, I can see, just to try and get it straight. So it's measuring 382, I'm going to make it 384, then it'll just take the little bit of bend out. So then that's gone in there all okay. Got it all levelled up and squared up. You won't see these blocks, you'll only see the top inch by the time I get all sorted and paving round, and all the bottom of the timbers will be an inch above the floor. So I'm just going to go touch up them shed base ends where I've cut the timber with some paint what I've got. You can't see the make of it. That is Cuprinol garden shades, and it's the best garden paint I've ever used on timber. My sheds, I mean, they've only had 2 goes over in about 5 years. When I first got it, and then I think earlier on this year, you put 2 coats on, and the first coat on new timber, it's easy to put on, but it doesn't cover as far. And then you put the second coat on, oh, it goes on forever, and it goes on effortlessly. And it seems to go like a tough plasticky finish. Can't beat Cuprinol garden shades. 5 litre tins if you can get it, and depending where you go it's quite expensive. Well, a lot of money for a tin, but it goes a long way, so I think it's good value for what it is. And I shopped online for a long time because I bought something like, I think 4 5 litre tins, because I've got a lot of sheds and fences and summer house and that lot. And cheapest place I found anywhere, believe it or not, were B&Q, and it was £38 a tin. So just have a look at B&Q, but you do want to shop round for it. One of my friends has asked me why didn't I use plywood for my noggins, and why haven't I used full lengths of timber. You know, why haven't I put that up there in one? Well, all these noggins are all the offcuts of my rafters, so I saved them for noggins, so that I'm not having to pay for sheet supply. It just cost me a bit of extra time for cutting more bits of wood. And then these were all the offcuts of my 2B2, which goes underneath. They were maybe about that long, and all I did was, just to try and keep it tidy, I just whipped a couple of inches off and cut the length of the width of the 9x2, 8x2, whatever it is. So that's the reason why there's no plywood, and I've only got short noggins in. And I've just remembered the nice lady's name. Well, it's 2 nice ladies now. The nice lady's name from my sausage rolls. It's Sylvia. So thank you, Sylvia. And Eileen has given me a Yorkshire curd, which is in the fridge. So I'm doing well for my grub today. So what I've done, I've put a line on the floor. I've set it 250mm away from the wall, because you've got to get room to get in, get your pipes connected and everything. You don't want to be tight for the sake of it. That's the centre of this frame. Then I've come off 25mm there to allow for plasterboard and tiles. And then I've set off where the windowsill's going to be This is going to be tiled in here, tile, so it's not going to be timber, but it's, so that allows me plasterboard and tile. So I've then got a centre mark between that point and there, which is there. So I'm going to get my square. I've just looked all over for my little speed square in the shed, can't bloody find it anywhere. So that's at me off. So that's where that's going to be positioned, and the toilet's going to be there. So, you know, if you stand in front of the toilet, I've centralised myself. I've got arm room between me and the wall, and I want it so you can be, you know, you're close enough to the wall, but I need it close enough so that you can comfortably reach this pull handle. All this is designed where any servicing is done through that panel there. But I think I'll put a timber varnish top on it so that you can get in. And then I was having a look online, there's some beautiful cabinets you can get. So I think that's what I'm going to put there in the scheme of things. So I'll show you how I built this. Some might not agree with how I built it, but it's how I've built it and my reasons why. That point has to be 1 metre above the floor. So I lowered them legs down and made it so that it was 1 metre above the floor. That enabled me to set the height for this. I then took it out, and because of my underfloor heating pipe work, I glued on a piece of timber at the bottom and a piece on the side, because you've got to screw this in, you see. I then lifted up the legs, taking into account that timber, so that it was still 1 metre above that mark. So that got short of that. I then had 2 sides to do, and because I had glued them pieces down, I didn't want to be fastening anything into the screed. So I made myself another frame, and why I've got these pieces longer was I thought, because it's quite narrow, if I build these too long up here and put a short piece in, I was just worried about it splitting when I fastened it. So that's why I made them longer and these, and I did that at both sides, and it works. And because I use 4x2, it enabled me to have this ledge here, there and there, because you need a piece of timber across to catch these brackets here, and then you undo that and it moves that in and out, so you can adjust it for any tolerance. Bad enough for today. So I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I hope you picked up a few little tips. So I will see you next time, and thank you very much for watching.